Story behind Mantralaya. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple, Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Mantralaya, one of the most trusted powerful saints of Hinduism, who dedicated his life to his devotees and buried himself alive Jiva Samadhi. His tenure was observed between the period of 1601 to 1671 according to 16th century. He was a strong disciple of Madhavi's worshipper of Lord Vishnu as supreme. The saint ascended Brindavanayam in Mantralaya, located in Andhra Pradesh state. About Mantralaya Temple. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Birth. The Sri Raghavendra Swami, who was born as Sri Venkatakan Atha at Bhu Vinaya Giri. Current date Chittam Brahma in Tamil Nadu. With a great diligence and devotion of the parents to the deity of Tirupati Sri Venkateshwara Swami, Sri Venkatakanatha was given this name. Early life. Sri Venkatanatha was a brilliant student since the childhood, who also learnt to play veena in a proficient manner. After the demise of his father, Venkatakanatha was brought up by his father's brother Sri Guru Rajabhata. Here at this uncle's place he completed his primary level of education at Madhura. Check more visiting places near Mantralaya. Marriage life. After the return from the Mutt in 1614, Venkatakanatha got married to Smt. Saraswati Bai and was blessed with a baby boy the same year. Sri Venkatakanatha hence the beginning studies and worshipped Vatiyadavenda in Thay, literature and grammar under the Guru Sri Sudhira the Earth. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Was a fervent disciple of Sri Rama and Sri Pankamukha Mukhaya Pranadavaru. He almost spent his time in sharing the knowledge to young generation, and was left in debts at the end, but was completely, which means whole and soul manner, presented himself to the amity. Life turned into Snesaa as Guru Raghavendra. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Now, as Venkatakanatha's life went on in the worship of Lord and sharing knowledge to young ones, at this point his guru, who gave him spiritual ethics, Sri Sadhi and Radhir Theru, was in search of a successor to his mutt. Once when Venkatakanatha had come to visit his guru to find place of him and his family, the guru realizes Venkatakanatha was the right person to be his descendant. A refusal was made by Venkatakanatha initially, as he was bounded with family responsibilities, but gave himself a chance to discuss with his wife in this regards. Pujas and sevas at Temple Mantralaya. On his way back home he came across Goddess Saraswati, goddess of learning, who explained his birth as Pirhal al-Ada in the previous birth and Raghavendra in Kali Yuga. Venkatanatha changes his mind and goes ahead seeking salvation as sannyasi avatar, that is taken up dedicating oneself completely to the Almighty, and away from family bounding / surrendering oneself to the Lord whole and soul. He then took up the mutt's responsibility in 1621 on Falgun I Suklad Ew Itya Tanjore. Smt. Saraswati's Moksha. Epic story of Mantralaya Temple. Hearing the news of Venkatakan Atha Snesaa avatar as Raghavendra Guru, Venkatanath's wife Smt. Saraswati broke down and gave up herself by jumping into an old well. But she was left midway between heaven and earth due to untimely death, as her wish was to see her husband for the last time and was not fulfilled. She went to Mutt to see him but was not allowed into the Mutt on the untimely sacrifice. Swami Raghavendra sensed her presence as sprinkled holy water on her and gave her moksha, releasing her soul into heaven. South India tour spreading Dvaaya philosophy. As Raghavendra took up the avatar of sannyasi, he then went on for a South Indian tour to promote preaching Dvaaya philosophy and attending pilgrims at Rameshwaram and Srirangam. He also traveled to Kanyakumari, Madhura, Amnayan Thiruvananthapuram. Moreover attended Vishnu Mangala Kutya Subramaniya and Udupi. On his travel to various parts of the country promoting his philosophy of Dava, many miracles took place. Miraculous events have always been taken place in the hands of Swamiji. His spiritual preachings and blessings were meant to be like a bhaya hand, protective or helping hand to all the devotees who seek help in front of him. Nawa of Adoni and Mantralayam. Swamiji went to Nawa of Adoni for a favor. He requested him for the land of Manchela village. Before that, to test the spiritual skills of Swamiji. Nawa of Adoni disrespected him by offering him a plate of non-vegetarian delights covered with cloth. It was then offered to Swami, as it was kept near him. Then with his mediation and purity of mind and soul of Swamiji, the plate of non-veg delights stirred into beautiful flowers when the cloth was taken off from the plate. Surprised with this miracle by Swamiji, Nawa had no words. He then said he would give Swamiji with a better land than the Manchela village, as it was a dry and barren region. But this land was around Mantralayam and on the bank of river Tanabhara. He mentioned that this land was a place where King Prahalada performed Yagam to Lord Rama in Dwa Parayuga, and was said to be a holy land. So the mutt was moved to Mantralayam, where an donation of food to all devotees. This is still practices at the mutt even now. Pankamuki. Penance were performed at the place named Pankamuki Temple of five-faced Hanuman form of Pankamuka Mukhaya Pran in Mantralayam. Raghavendra was reincarnation of Prahalada, the devotee who was saved by Vishnu in the avatar of Narasimha. Prahalada the reincarnation of Shankuke Arna of Dwa Parayugam. So, Raghavendra chose the land of Mantralayam as the location of Brindavanam. Javivya Samadhi. Epic story of Mantralayam Temple. Epic story of Mantralayam Temple on the Dwitiya day of Sravana Krishna Paksha 1671. Gave soul-stirring words to many devotees who come up to witness the event. He said that he would always be there of devotes who seek his helping hand. He would be a Kalpavirikshatri that fulfills wishes and give boon. A doctor who could cure all the medical needs. Ultimately said that he would be with his devotees every moment of life and help them at all required stages of life. Epic story of Mantralayam Temple. Swami entered into Brindavanam specially built for him. According to his wish, these stones were sanctified by Lord Rama, Sita and Lakshmana's footsteps on their visit to Tirthayatra. As instructed by Swami, once the Yapamala stopped trolling in this hand, slabs were placed till his head got covered. To add purity to Brindavanam, spiritual water was poured onto the construction 1200 lakhs mine Arioris RLI gram as brought from Nepal Gandaki River in Nepal. This state of samadhi was celebrated every year at Dwitiya day of Sravana Krishna Paksha. It is trusted to be Swami is alive for 78 years physically on earth, 300 years in Brindavan with his literary work among the people, 400 years in Brindavan without physical form, altogether 700 years in the Brindavan offering helping hand to society, mankind, and out to come out of troubles and mistakes.